Welcome back to Tommy's Tune-Ups. So what I want to do today is I want to put the new carb on because I'm going to mount the fuel pump right down there, same way I did on mine. And to do that, I got to have the wiring moved out of the way. I still have the old coils and condensers and points in there. There's a little bit less spark on the fan side of the motor, but I'm going to give the points a clean and see if that changes anything. But I don't want to touch this. I just want to leave it alone and see how it's going to run and move on. I'm kind of worried about this piston over here. These things were notorious for melting pistons, especially this sled not having an air duct and having this insulation on the underside of the hood. I think it's to quieten it down a bit. I mean, my other one zings, it sounds pretty good, but not everybody really likes that. But I'm worried that the insulation and not having an air duct to get the heat away from the motor, that it might have just, exaggerated the problem of these things overheating and possibly cooked that piston a little bit. All that being said, let's get rolling on the Mikuni style carb. So we got the fuel pump drilled, tapped, mounted. The screws are just in there loose for now because I'm going to have to take it off and I put the fuel lines on. Neatened up the wiring a little bit more and secured that to the side rail there. And that looks pretty good. I'm really happy with that. The intake boot is put on, new gasket in there for the customer. Next step, put the carb on. But before I do that, I'm going to have to drill it out and add the port for the primer. It always makes me nervous drilling into a brand new carb, but it's just a measure twice, cut once kind of deal. So this fitting that came with the primer kit, the large side is 1/4 inch. So what I did is I drilled the housing to 6 mil, and then it's just a slight interference fit. So I'll put a little bit of red Loctite, gingerly press this fitting in there, and then that's where our primer is going to go. So there's the Mikuni style conversion installed. I got really lucky with the primer location, just clears the hood. So that is perfect. I'm going to make a little modification here to where the throttle cable is connected to the handlebar. I'm just going to cut this bracket off and weld it on right next to the switch here so then I can have that connected. But very smooth. Works really, really well. I still got to get the gas lines put on in a fuel filter and put the T connection in for the primer. Hook up the fuel return lines, but then hopefully tomorrow we'll get this thing going. And so I'm still going through the wiring on this 1978 Elan 250 twin. All I have left is the headlight and the brake light switch. So that's these 3 wires here. I follow those down. Comes to a nice little homemade harness with these 3 wires. Comes up, it goes to an LED headlight bulb conversion kit. There's a broken wire there, but I can fix that, no problem. And then it comes around the corner, splits off, and the switch is right down there on the brake lever mechanism. So I've got that disconnected. I can troubleshoot the lighting circuit afterwards,